Let me know if you can relate. So, you have an idea, a dream, a vision, something that has been brewing inside of you just beneath the level of consciousness. And yet, you let what people say, or correction, what you think people are going to say, get in your way. What will happen if you just did the thing anyway? What could happen to your life if you stepped into whatever you wanted to do as if it was already yours? What if you just... So let's talk about how we get in our own way. Other people also can assist in that, but it's mostly us. And my personal journey into getting out of my own way and stepping into who I am as a person. And hopefully you'll get something out of this too. And if you see me looking down, it's because I took notes. I thought about this morning. I was just thinking about my life and I was just like, man, the more I have started to live unapologetically, the better my life has become in many ways. And like, what if I just continue on this path, right? But for so many years, I did not do that. I dimmed my life so that other people can feel comfortable around me, or what I thought I was doing was making people feel more comfortable around me. How did that manifest? Watching what I wore so that I didn't appear too stylish or overdressed with my friends. Not wanting to draw attention to myself, which is very hard to do because I am tall. I'm 5'10". Letting people think that I wasn't as smart, talented, or as fabulous as I actually am. And just stunting my own personal journey into becoming the person that I was meant to be, simply because I was afraid of people saying, ooh, who does she think she is? And to be honest, in retrospect, if that is the worst thing someone can say about you, then you are doing something right. You are going places. I think about stars and how the stars are always in the sky, right? Whether it's daytime or the nighttime, but stars are at their brightest, their most luminous, when the sky is at its darkest, the most beautiful, the most quiet. And I think about how I did not want to shine because I felt like that was intimidating people, instead of letting my star shine and finding other stars who could be with me in the sky, if you know what I mean. I was so worried about dimming my own light instead of finding people who also had a light and being with them, right? And I really felt like that held me back in so many ways. When I think about all of the ways that I made myself smaller in order to make people feel better, I cringe. Oh my God, I cringe so bad, guys. Embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. And I was doing it to make people feel comfortable and secure within themselves, as if it was my job to manage people's insecurity, because it's not, right? It's not my job and it's not yours. And ironically, when I was finally like, you know what, this is not working for me, and finally let my light shine, those very people I was worried about this whole time, let me tell you something. Those people were some of the most vicious, nastiest, most passive aggressive people to me. And that is because the dynamics changed, right? Things changed. The order of things had changed, right? The order of operations had changed. And it was because I no longer relegated myself to the background of my own life. I said to myself that I mattered. I showed that to other people. Some people were with it and some people weren't. And this is not me pointing fingers at people, so to speak, because I do think that a part of this is human behavior to feel some kind of way, for lack of a better word, when dynamics change, whether that's in a family, a friendship, a relationship. And a lot of people are not necessarily happy with that change because they were happy with how you saw them before, and they were happy with how they were in the hierarchy before. And so this is not an indictment against people who are like that. I do think that is human nature. And I also think that if you are a secure person, a lot of these things don't really affect you. It's not to say that we don't encounter jealousy and envy, but there is something about being a secure person in that when you see someone's light shining, you're happy for them. You have been waiting for this moment, right? And a lot of people aren't like that. And so I give them grace, right? But I don't have to associate with those people anymore. Being in the front seat of my own life and letting that be known to the people who are around me is something that I've been working on for years. It's not an overnight process in various areas of my life. And in this season of my life, I'm looking to do that in terms of my creativity. And if you're new here, if this is your first time seeing me on the screen, this is my gallery wall. I made this mural. I made this painting over here. This is actually my siblings. And I have so much of my art scattered all over my home. I talked about this in my video about why I was so scared to call myself an artist, and I'm going to leave it here or wherever YouTube decides to put this. And in that video, I revealed that I'm working on a zine. For those who are not familiar with a zine is a self-published magazine, and I am calling it Cocktails for Intuitive Souls.
Yay!
And it is a book of all original cocktails, influenced by my travels, influenced by my work as a food and travel journalist. That's something I've never talked about, at least on this channel. I'll give you guys like a little preview here or here, wherever I decide to put it. It's not the final, so you know, look out for that. But I know the retailers and bookstores that I want my zine to be in. And I'm looking forward to the opportunities that this zine will open up for me. So for the zine, I'm doing the illustrations. Of course, I'm writing the stories and the recipes. I have a designer working on this, and she's amazing. And this has been an exercise for me to put myself out there as an artist unapologetically and say, this is who I am. Whether you like it or not, it's not my problem, because I'm not here for you, I'm here for me. I share my story and I say all of this to say, please y'all, go in the world, around and find out. What does that mean? That can mean anything, right? It could be playing with your personal style, working on that one thing you've been thinking about forever, just doing step one. Or if you can't do step one, do step 1/2, step 1/4. Do something. Picking up a new hobby or activity and trying it, even if you're not great at it at first, which is fine. None of us are great at things the first time around. Okay, maybe some of us are, but most of us aren't, and that's perfectly okay. Also, finding your people, finding a circle who wants to see you shine, finding your fellow stars so that y'all could be out here lighting up the sky. And I'm not gonna lie. Will this process feel uncomfortable? Yes. Will people notice your becoming and your change and say things, whether positive or negative? And will that also be uncomfortable? Yes. But do it anyway. Do it anyway. Because if there is one guarantee in life, it is that if you make it a habit of shrinking yourself and shrinking your life, all the world is going to do is just follow along. All right, y'all. Let me know in the comments below, what is one thing that you're gonna do either today, next week, next month, Put a deadline on it, because if you're anything like me, you were like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And then 2 years pass by and you still have not done what you said you were gonna do. Think of something that brings you closer to the person you dreamed of being. Put a deadline on it and just do it. Like I said, it doesn't even have to be step 1. It can be step 1/2, right? But at least start. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and spending time with me. I really appreciate it. Till next time, love you all, take care, and see you soon. Bye.